My background is, of course, in project management, and I learned a lot during that whole process, but it's a lot about adapting to different challenges. And of course, that's exactly what we had to do on Mount Everest.
Our second presenter this morning is Mallory. Alan is an international speaker, author, performance coach who's passionate about leadership and reaching new heights. Join and welcome Alan to our stage.
Before we begin, I'd just like to invite you all to take a deep breath in. And now imagine if the air was so thin that every breath you took was a fight to stay alive. This is what it's like on Mount Everest, and today I want to take you on a journey to the top of the world. As you'll see, this is a very different type of project than we're used to managing, but it's also very much the same in terms of the processes and project stages. In terms of our project charter, it really had two parts. First of all, reach the summit, but even more importantly, come back safely and alive. And every year there are climbers that don't come back to the mountain. There's so many different elements involved in my family's expedition and the other areas that I talk about that everyone can relate to at least one or more of them. And so I think a lot of people really appreciate the mental health lessons, really appreciate the interpersonal lessons. Everyone has their own Everest, whether they like to admit it or not. And this is the passion and commitment and resilience and planning and everything that can be involved in climbing that Everest or conquering that Everest. One of the biggest changes that we really had to make was separating our team. And we had never planned to separate our team. And in many ways, it seems foolish because not only are we taking on some risk, we're leaving one or two individuals, who knows what could happen, but also we had roles and responsibilities. We worked well as a team. But again, it comes back to having this agile mentality. We soon realized that if all of us waited at base camp for that one sick climber to be healthy, at that point the next person was sick, and we would have never gotten one step past base camp. An agile mentality is realizing that we're going to have to adapt. And this mountain is very volatile. It throws all kinds of different challenges at us. And if we're too rigid in our mindset, we're not able to adapt to what the mountain throws at us. As much as we don't want to separate this team, if we want to have a chance of reaching our end goal here, we have to adapt, and this is one of the ways we're going to have to do it. But I still remember the feeling. When I got to the top of the Hillary Step, I'm looking up the small frozen incline towards the summit of Mount Everest, and that's when I realized we're going to make it to the top of the world.
Here we are, the top of Mount Everest. There's Dad. Say hello, Dad. Too late. That's okay. That's how it goes. Alan, look this way, Alan. Alan.
We took our oxygen mask off temporarily in order to take some photos at the summit, and it was just really, really incredible after almost 2 months of climbing to have finally reached our end goal. We did have a satellite phone with us, and we were able to make a couple of very short calls from the summit. My father, of course, called my mother. I called my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, but I also called the engineering company I worked for at the time as a project manager because they'd given me a little bit of support for the expedition. It was the middle of the night here in North America, so the phone call was recorded, and I'll play that for you now.
Hi Tom, it's Alan Mallory of Mount Everest. Myself, my father, my brother have reached the highest point on Earth, and we're looking down on the world, and it's pretty amazing. We're just about to head down. There's very little oxygen up here, and I'm looking forward to a warm shower and a cold beer.
There's a lot of lessons that can be applied to our own journey from project management. For example, identifying these risks, developing the risk response strategies. Really the agile mindset or agile mentality is so key. The most important thing really is to conquer your own Everest, or at least climb your own Everest. Really, the end message is what is my Everest? And how can I apply a lot of these strategies that Alan has shared during his program to work through those challenges and make it a reality in the end?